What's up, everybody?
Hello.
We're back.
We are.
Now, we've had a very interesting couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We have had family come into town. Your sister that you got to see for the first time in 2 years.
I know. I know. It's a surprise. It was such a surprise.
It was.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and the kids kept the secret really great.
I can't believe that.
We also had a medical emergency with our son, which is kind of where we fell silent, is we didn't really know what was, going to be happening with that. But as you can tell from this right here, we are going to do something a little different than we normally do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe not.
I mean, we do react to things. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
For sure.
And since we have kind of disappeared, took a little break, the Aaron Goodwin story came out.
So will you do us a favor?
Yeah.
We'll be watching you, okay? We got 3 cameras here. We're going to be there watching you.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. This page here, Law and Order, I believe it's called. Is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Law and Order. Let me make sure. Law and Crime. Law and Crime. They did a video. They usually cover stuff really well. So we're going to watch their video and kind of give you our thoughts on it. So let's dive into this thing.
Okay, I'm excited.
I feel like I'm going to throw it out there just to be transparent. We have seen what happened, and there are interesting ties to our home state of Florida in this. So
this is very true.
This is kind of the reason I wanted to talk about it. But let's pop into this thing.
All right, let's do it.
It's a haunted house.
I don't want
She's
it.
definitely afraid of haunted houses, but at least it's not real ghosts. Well, there are real ghosts in here, actually.
Ah, no. Send help.
What seemed like a fairy tale romance for Ghost Adventures star Aaron Goodwin has turned into a chilling nightmare. His wife, Victoria, is now accused of plotting his murder with a convicted killer from a Florida prison, somebody you may recognize. Behind their picture-perfect social media posts lies an alleged twist.
Now, before we get too far into this, I know who this person is that they're referencing, and so do you. And it is insane to me that this dude is somehow making a comeback in the world of news in general, because I thought this dude would just be locked up and gone forever.
Oh, yeah.
And for anybody who doesn't know, I don't know how you would know if you listen to us, but Aaron Goodwin obviously is a very well-known member of the group Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagans, Frodo.
Are you laughing at us?
Which kind of kick-started this podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you listen to the show, you will know episode 1 was Ghost Adventures. And episode, I don't even remember, 50? I don't know.
Something like
that. It was
that.
the end of the first year. I think we redid it. But this is Aaron Goodwin of Ghost Adventures, and I would love to hear Zach's thoughts on all this, only because I think this made him more famous than Zach now. I do. Yeah. And we all know that Zach Bagans loves the spotlight.
He loves himself a lot.
Without a doubt. Without affliction.
Got him! Got him!
Scheme that has left the paranormal community in shock. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, this is just a bizarre one, to say the least. What began with a seemingly fairy tale beginning has turned into a real-life nightmare for Ghost Adventure star Aaron Goodwin, because his wife, Victoria, now stands accused of plotting his murder in such a chilling scheme that, honestly, it kind of reads like a script from one of his own paranormal investigations. The wife of the Ghost Adventures host has been arrested and accused of conspiring to murder her husband in a scheme involving an inmate in a Florida prison. I mean, this is shocking, because you have this alleged dark and twisted plot, and that couldn't contrast more with the couple's seemingly happy public persona, particularly online. Now, here's what we know. The story takes us back to October of last year, when authorities say Victoria Goodwin initiated contact with an inmate in a Florida prison, and TMZ says that they have identified this inmate as Grant Amato, who is a
Grant Amato. Grant Amato. If you don't know who this guy is, you have to look him up.
Yeah.
He fell in love with a webcam girl from like Russia or somewhere thereabouts, and like gave all his money to her thinking that he like had this relationship with her.
Not all just his money, but then started taking his dad's money and his mom's money.
He just stole money from everybody in his family. His
Literally
brother,
everyone.
his mom, his dad. And then they found out and he murdered the entire family.
All of them.
Look at this guy. Look at this man's picture, okay? Look at his picture. This, when this broke, I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I can't.
She reached out to Grant Amato, the world's biggest internet pleb of all time. This dude has got to be the softest, butteriest little boy ever. God. He is just the epitome of internet boys. He has to be. Who thinks that a girl, a smoking hot girl at that?
Yeah, she was very, very
from
pretty.
across. He is the simp of all simps. He is. Grant, Mr. Simpson Amato.
I don't know if they're going to go into this in the video, but like, why him?
I don't know.
He's locked up in jail. Like, look at him. Do you think he has people?
I think she thought maybe he did have some kind of connections because of who he is. Because, I mean...
Okay, his name is big, but because he's a psycho, that doesn't mean anything else.
He's kind of a psycho. Like, I would not be scared of him.
I mean, no, but he murdered his whole
You could take this
family.
guy.
Duh.
Look at him.
But he killed his whole family. Like, what? No.
I mean, weapons really level the playing field. That's all I got to say. Like, look at this man. Come on.
Understand.
But it is very
it.
strange to me that of everybody she could have reached out to,
It was him.
she reached out to Grant Amato, internet's most notorious plebby simp. Screw you, Grant.
a convicted killer himself. Now, when I read the story and I heard Grant Amato, my ears perked up. Why? I've been at Law and Crime since 2017. If you have been following Law and Crime for a while, you might remember this guy because, as a matter of fact, we covered his trial. He is serving a life sentence for a shocking triple murder. A former nurse, he was convicted in 2019 for the brutal killings of his father, his mother, and his brother in their Florida home.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. Further finding. We further find beyond a reasonable doubt that during the commission of the offense, the defendant personally carried, displayed, used, threatened to use, or attempted to use a firearm or a weapon. Further finding. We further find that during the commission of the crime, the defendant actually possessed a firearm. Further finding 2, we further find that during the commission of the crime, the defendant discharged a firearm. Further finding 3, we further find that during the commission of...
We just have to all get over the fact that she keeps saying defendant and not defendant. Hey, whatever. She got the job done. Who cares? Or they got the job done.
I know.
Say whatever you want about them. I have a lot of things I could say, but I mean, maybe we don't keep it family friendly, but I try to censor myself a little bit because if I just let loose, I don't know if anybody would listen to this anymore.
He's a lot sometimes. But so am I.
Okay. That's better.
In the crime, the defendant discharged a firearm and caused the death of Margaret Amato. Verdict, count 2, Chad Amato. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. Further finding. We further find beyond a reasonable doubt that during the commission of the offense, the defendant personally carried, displayed, used, threatened to use, or attempted to use a firearm or a weapon. Further findings 1. We further find that during the commission of the crime, the defendant actually possessed a firearm. Further finding 2. We further find that during the commission of the crime, the defendant discharged a firearm.
It hurts me every time she says it.
Further findings 3. We further find that during the commission of the crime, the defendant discharged a firearm and caused the death of Chad Amato. Verdict, count 3, Cody Amato. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. Further finding. We further...
All right, so we get it. Grant Amato, bad dude.
Yeah.
Sort of. I'm he's stupid. I don't even understand how he got dragged into this. He's just the dumbest person ever that could have been dragged into this thing.
Yeah.
Everybody who follows any kind of true crime knows about Grand Amato. It was a huge, huge story. Again, just very wild that, you know, Aaron Goodwin's marriage, if you look on social media and stuff, even people who knew them, they really seem to exude like this perfect marriage.
Yeah.
This
Super
perfect
happy.
life.
They got along all the time.
Yeah.
Like they just lived life and were happy. And this is so crazy.
Absolutely.
It's so crazy.
Absolutely. So it's super strange that this even happened. It doesn't really make any sense. And I don't know if she has since actually said why she did this.
Right.
It just came out of nowhere. And I feel bad for Aaron Goodwin because he honestly seems like a really sweet guy.
Yeah.
So
he has always been my favorite.
I just don't.
Love Aaron.
I mean, I really prefer fat Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean that derogative, in a derogative way. Like, we love Aaron.
But like in the era of then.
Yeah, it was the original, which I still think he's probably a lovely man. But this just really seems like one of those things that just really came out of left field. Mm-hmm. It seems very strange.
Allegedly discussed plans with Amato to have Aaron killed while he was on location filming his popular Discovery Plus show. And, by the way, just as an aside here, in case you're not familiar, Ghost Adventures follows paranormal investigator Zach Baggins and his team, which includes Aaron Goodwin, as they explore haunted locations all over the world.
Crime.
Pretty crazy story, right? Look, but we wanted to bring this one to you. We definitely wanted to shed a light on this and dedicate an episode to that. And let me just quickly call out and thank our sponsor for helping make this episode happen, and that is Dermazin.
Yeah, we're gonna skip the ad here. Is that a hair product? Because this man's hair couldn't possibly get any bigger.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm a little jealous. I'm not going to lie.
Alrighty then.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm pretty bald under here.
What makes this all really, really strange is that the couple, as I mentioned, seem to be living this fairy tale life. Social media posts from both Aaron and Victoria paint
She's very
a happy
attractive.
picture of the two.
She's very
they even
pretty.
tied the knot in a whimsical ceremony at Disneyland's Haunted Mansion in August of 2022.
Sweet.
But apparently behind the scenes, their marriage might have been in some trouble. And as I mentioned earlier, this alleged plot supposedly involved this inmate, Grant Amato. And according to police, Victoria told investigators that she first learned about Amato through the documentary that I mentioned before and began corresponding with him as pen pals while he was incarcerated. And despite his alleged role in this scheme, though, Grant Amato has not yet been charged by Nevada prosecutors in connection with this alleged attempted contract.
Now, I do have to say, some of this may have changed by now. He may have been charged. She may have come out since.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything else on this yet. Since this video we watched, I think, a couple days after it came out. So I just want to throw that out there, that I know that we're kind of coming in late to this, but we just wanted to talk about it on our channel because, I mean, honestly, it interacts directly with our show only because we got off the ground with the show talking about them.
The paranormal, and now we're getting into crime. So it's literally
it's
worlds.
Ghost Adventures of all things.
Yeah.
It's
our
it's
very
Aaron.
first episode.
So things could have changed.
Mm-hmm.
I know that maybe we'll do another video here soon in the future. Apparently he has come out and spoken about it. Maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe we'll just continue this.
Yeah, because excuse me, I want to know more about this.
Oh, I do too.
I have not looked into it. I knew we wanted to cover this, so I kind of have stayed away, and I am very interested.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I do just want to throw that out there that I understand we're coming in a little late on this, so other things may have developed, and we will probably revisit this next week where I would like to look more into this and see what happens.
Yeah, now that we've started, we can kind of dig in.
Yes. So Patreon, get ready because we are going to probably keep talking about this because it's very interesting.
Yes.
Killing. Now, before we go any further into this, I want to bring back onto the show Detective Eric Barnes, who always helps us out when it comes to these very strange investigations. Detective, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time. Just your overall thoughts on this? I mean, what part do you want to hit first? Do you want to hit the fact that, you got this television star whose wife is now accused of trying to plot his murder, or the fact that you have somebody on the outside who allegedly has been contacting an inmate to carry out a murder for hire plot? We're going to get through all the details, but this is unique.
Yeah, there is, Jesse. It's a lot to unpack here. Anytime you hear about someone plotting to kill someone they're married to, that in itself is just full of questions. But then when you start adding in the fact that you have reality TV stars contacting inmates, I mean, this is just unbelievable.
How common are murder for hire plots?
Murder for hire is one of those things that it's not a common occurrence. Like you don't.
He says that, but how many things have we seen that were murder for hire?
Quite a few.
Quite a lot.
Like a lot.
So it's very strange that he says that it's not very common because I feel like we've seen it quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe we just watch that much true crime.
No, we definitely do.
We 100% do.
Absolutely.
Come across those too often. A detective may investigate maybe one their whole career.
This is a big question that I don't ask enough. If this is true, taking these allegations as true, why would somebody resort to this as opposed to a divorce if she was truly unhappy? I mean, we could talk about that generally. How many times spouses are accused or end up killing,
don't kill,
accused of killing or convicted of killing their significant other.
I'm speaking directly to you.
Why go that route as opposed to a divorce?
Well, when I was reading the article, I'm not investigating the case, so I haven't had time to kind of dig into the evidence. And once more gets released, I think we'll definitely be able to tell. But, one of the first indicators in situations like this, when marriage seems to be going down and the fact that he's a television star, sometimes people are worth more dead than they are alive. And so I always tend to think that financial matters are a huge motivator in these situations.
Always.
Now, I'm going to get a little bit more into the Grant Amato connection to this, but why do you think he hasn't been charged yet, criminally charged in connection with this plot?
Prosecutors are very...
I'm going to say it's probably because they haven't figured out how to charge him. He's going to catch a charge for this.
I mean...
He's part of a murder for hire plot. He's going to catch a charge.
Yes, and he is incarcerated. He's already locked up. But I think my question would be, did he entertain her?
Yes, he did.
After she reached out.
Yes, he did.
Oh.
He's part.
Well,
that's why they're saying he's part of a murder for hire plot. He was in.
Okay.
So he's. I mean,
what do you got, boys? What? I don't understand.
Well, all right. We're watching a television series right now, which I highly recommend to everybody who listens to us.
It's so good.
Happy Face. It's
so good.
Amazing. It's about Melissa Moore's story and her dad, Keith Jesperson. But whatever. The point I'm trying to make is these people go into jail, prison, whatever, and they kind of, accrue this following of people who will do things for them. And I bring this up because in the show we're watching, Keith Jesperson just always seems to find a way to reach out to people. He has
people who do things. Yeah.
So I'm sure Grant Amato has his little clique. I mean, even the world's biggest pile of crap, Chris Watts, has some girls.
Exactly who you were going to say.
It baffles me that there are girls out there who want him after what he did to his wife and children.
I hate that man.
It blows my mind. But I'm just saying, even Grant Amato, even though he is like the world's smallest man, will have people willing to help him because his status now. And I think they're trying to figure out how to charge him to the fullest. So they haven't done anything yet.
He's not going anywhere. So
absolutely, that's no doubt there.
Very careful on cases like this. You have to take into account that his past history as an inmate and his credibility may be something that they don't want to rush to judgment with just using his statements. Also, he may be cooperating. It just depends on what strategy the prosecutors are using, and I think that is going to heavily rely upon the type of evidence that they've already secured on the case.
That's basically what he's saying.
So that's interesting because let's talk about what the evidence is. How'd they find this out? Well, while Amato is not yet facing charges, police say it was through him that they were able to actually uncover this alleged scheme because according to the complaint that TMZ reviewed, Florida prison officials discovered and seized a contraband phone that he was apparently using. And what they reportedly discovered on there was chilling.
It was text messages. So he somehow got a phone in jail and was corresponding with Mrs. Goodwin through text messaging. It's just so weird, man.
What?
I'm not even surprised by the whole murder for hire thing. It's just with Grant Amato. She probably was like, I can get him to do whatever.
I mean, she is really pretty. So, yeah, probably.
Some suggestive pictures is all it takes sometimes.
But honestly, like, she could have done that with anyone.
Yes, but look at this man, again, right here, and tell me that this isn't an easy mark. The man who murdered his family for some Eastern European girl.
It is.
So, makes sense to me.
Fair point. Fair point.
Makes sense.
Messages exchanged between Victoria and the inmate, if verified as evidence, they are quite damning. Because according to the Daily Mail, in one message, Victoria allegedly appears to have written, "Am I a bad person because I chose to end his existence, not divorce?"
Yep.
Now, how exactly was Victoria supposedly working with this inmate? So in October, again, this is according to the Daily Mail, Aaron was in California filming Ghost Adventures with his longtime co-star, paranormal investigator Zach Baggins. And police
There's
say
other people on that show.
Victoria provided this inmate with his filming schedule and his hotel location so that this would be carried out while he was out of state. The couple actually reside in Nevada. And the criminal complaint revealed more of these texts, as reported by the Daily Mail, where the inmate, Grant Amato, allegedly messaged the purported hitman saying, "He's asleep right now in the hotel room. I need to know what's going on. Can I get an update? Was it done?" So this suggests that...
So therefore he... Like,
Stop.
They were working together
Got
on this.
someone already because he's like, is it done?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Yeah, so he reached out, I believe, and found somebody. And, like, they had this whole thing set up. It's just, it's mind-blowing.
I don't understand.
It's mind-blowing.
I don't understand. Just leave him.
Do you think Zach would immediately try to investigate the spirit of Aaron?
Within like 30 seconds.
That there might be more to this, because we don't really know how far Victoria allegedly took this plot. If she did plot this, what happened to the hitman? We know Aaron was never actually confronted by any sort of hitman. So what happened to that person? How did Amato get in contact with that person? Are police still searching for him? As of right now, it's all uncertain. That's what makes this also quite bizarre. But what we do know is that authorities claim Victoria agreed to pay the hitman a total of $11,515. Very specific amount there. With an upfront payment of $2,500. And after months of investigating...
I don't feel like that's enough money to kill somebody.
$11,515.
Yeah, man. I think it was $550, but still.
What?
Why not 12 or 11? But
that's not enough.
It's 2025 out here.
It's not enough.
What is that going to get you? Half of a car?
That's nice and shiny.
Well, it's a 78.
Yeah, it's looking good. Looks really good.
A new apartment?
I don't know. Down payment and deposits.
That's what I'm saying.
Like what?
Like that's not enough money to take somebody's life.
Oh my God. That's a very specific number too. It baffles me. Like what? How did you get there?
It's a very stupid number.
Did you throw out 50 for gas? Like I don't understand.
You might be onto something.
I mean,
it is Florida people.
50 for gas, bro, on top of everything.
Yeah. I got 50 on it.
Police arrested her on March 6th in Clark County, Nevada, on charges of solicitation to commit murder and conspiracy murder. She was held on a $100,000 bail, made her first court appearance yesterday for an arraignment, and she has denied these allegations. Her defense is that this was all just a fantasy, that she was never intending to do anything to Aaron. And regarding the text messages, as reported by TMZ, she claimed that she was just, quote, daydreaming or fantasizing about...
When you send the messages and have somebody lined up, that is more than a day. That's more than a daydream.
100% that's
have
more.
Literally set up somebody's murder.
You're literally doing it.
That is.
I was daydreaming.
I was just thinking about it.
What?
No, it wasn't
Shut
for
up.
real.
No, you were not.
It was a fantasy.
Do you remember when my hair was as long as hers?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has super long hair.
Sit back there and say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is, bitch.
Sorry. These are the things I think about.
Husband. And as for the money that she allegedly sent to the inmate, she claims that was just for the inmate to have a cell phone, not for a murder for hire plot.
$11,000.
Problem is, and this is key, she apparently did admit to authorities that her marriage with Aaron was in some kind of trouble, or at the very least admitted to police that she told Amato that her marriage was in trouble. But there are two things that make this difficult to understand. For one, as I mentioned earlier, you really wouldn't see the signs of distress by the looks of the couple's online persona. And second,
she's lying.
Aaron apparently didn't think anything was wrong in their marriage. Sources close to Aaron, who, by the way, has over 660,000 Instagram followers and is a beloved figure in the paranormal community, reportedly told TMZ that he was, quote, blindsided and devastated at this turn of events. And the sources also told TMZ that he believed he was in a happy marriage and had no idea about his wife's alleged scheming. Back to Detective Barnes. Detective, how do investigators determine whether text messages like the ones I read, like, for example, am I a bad person because I chose to end his existence, not divorce? How do they know that's a genuine threat or a genuine step towards trying to carry out this plot?
I think the first step, Jesse, is just determining the validity of those texts. Was Aaron actually out of town at the location she was providing? I think determining his schedule and seeing if he was actually where the text said he was, I think that is going to tell you right there. And, good luck to having somebody believe that this was just some fantasy. When you start discussing large sums of money and cash being exchanged and you're on a legal cell phone inside a prison with someone that's already associated with committing a murder, it's just very hard for an average person to delve into that.
Well, that specific amount is weird too, right? That specific amount of money?
Weird.
Yes, and I would be interested as to why that number was that number. And, those things are going to all be corroborated by the interviews that law enforcement does with the alleged hitman and also the middleman that helped set this up.
By the way, how does an inmate have a cell phone?
Sometimes, in these facilities, there are ways that inmates get things that they want. Sometimes when visitors may smuggle it in, and sometimes, there's guards that bring in contraband. And it's just a problem that we deal with because, money talks and sometimes people's values are questioned.
Have you seen cases before? Maybe not necessarily where somebody sees a story of a convicted killer and then decides to contact them and then orchestrate a murder for hire plot. But have you seen cases before where somebody who is behind bars is able to orchestrate a crime on the outside? Again, assuming these allegations.
All the time. It happens
all the time.
I know he's doing this for the sake of a good story, but that's generally how it happens. And people smuggle all kinds of stuff into jail. Anything. Anything.
I don't even understand the
Knives,
question.
drugs, everything.
I don't even understand the question because it happens and everybody knows it happens.
Well, he's trying to, lay out a good story. So, I understand what he's doing, but there's nobody alive today that doesn't understand that things get into the jails.
Right.
So, and cell phones are probably one of the most common things.
Fair point. There was already money exchanged. There was money talked about.
$11,550.
Specifics. There was
Yeah. So her whole little fantasy defense is a fantasy.
Is bullshit.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah. Her story is a fantasy.
It's a fantasy. I love fantasies.
Brother, what's that?
Allegations are true.
Those sort of things are pretty common because, if you look at the wife, she probably doesn't associate with these type of individuals that are willing to do murder for hires. So she doesn't know where to go to do something like that. And that's not the world that she lives in. So when she reaches out to someone, she's taking a very big risk. Even with an inmate, that's his way. Essentially, if he's able to drum up this conversation enough, that may be something that he can get to his attorney and take to a prosecutor and help get out of jail a little bit sooner because he's helped unravel this murder for hire plot. And so you just never can be trusting of individuals in this situation. And the more people you get involved in these type situations, the greater risk there is that someone else is going to make a mistake.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. I am curious, though, whether it's not even a type of crime like this or whatever it is, but is it possible, do you see it common that people who are locked up are able to communicate to someone on the outside, like a purported hitman who they can't find, carry out, attack X, Y, and Z, do this? I imagine he's not the only person, who, again, assuming the allegations are true, who are able to do this and coordinate activity on the outside of prison.
It's more typical.
It happens all the time.
Of course, being incarcerated, you have to be careful of who you talk to, but other people know people too.
Well, it's funny because, back to this, do a lot of cell phones, things get smuggled into jails. There was actually, if you go online, there's a whole segment of TikTok and stuff where it's prisoners. People making TikToks.
In prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been famous accounts of guys who have remained anonymous on there.
Yep.
So it happens constantly. So I don't know. It's just an all the time thing. It's nothing new.
In drug and narcotic investigations, not typically murder for hire investigations. I mean, you are basically, you're planning a murder over text messages. You know, it's just very unheard of because people are trying to keep those plans secret, and for you to send it in text to a phone that's inside a facility, it just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, I mentioned we still don't know who this purported hitman is or if there even really is one. So I'm going to ask it to you two different ways. If there is one, what are police likely doing to try to track down this person? And if there isn't one, do you think that would help Victoria's defense that maybe this wasn't real?
No.
That's a touchy situation. I think that regardless of whether there was a hitman or not, her plan is still there. It sounds like her plan was there and she was making plans. The thing that
it really depends on where she is in all this. So, like, if there's not a hitman, that might be irrelevant if she thinks that there is.
Right.
So, like, the fact that, like, maybe Grant took the money and pretended there was a hitman. But the fact is that she is still trying to hire a hitman.
She's still actively involved in trying to have this done.
So in her brain, it's still a real...
It's still going.
It's still a real hit.
Yeah.
So I would hope that in our legal system, they would look at it like that, to where she is trying to set up a hit on Aaron. So I think it's only right that they would say, you know, she's guilty of at least that.
Absolutely.
you mentioned earlier about the $2,500 deposit, I would be interested as to see how that money changed place with the middleman being locked up in prison. She couldn't physically drop off the cash to him. So I would love to know if there are bank transactions that maybe they could tie to a third individual.
Why would Grant Amato be interested in being involved in this? Any idea? If he's not getting money,
she was probably like,
he doesn't
I
have
love
a connection
you,
to this.
And he was
He's
going
a
to do
complete
anything.
stranger. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they were having some sort of communication, and he felt for her in some way. I don't know, but you tell me what you might be investigating. If you were a part of this investigation and you're trying to see what his connection is, why he would get involved in this, what can you tell us?
I don't know what his connection could be at this point, other than there's some financial gain that would come out of it. But if you're already locked up, I mean, what is it going to provide for you? Some extra commissary, a few bags of chips, extra phone calls. I don't know what he could get out of this communication that would be enough for him to take this kind of risk. Sometimes people are lured into the fact that, he's actually having a conversation with the female on the outside, and she's a very high profile female because of her association with her husband. So that could be interesting as well on his behalf. But it just doesn't make sense on why he would get involved in this if he's not going to have some great benefit.
So I want to dive a little bit more into what makes this case really strange, other than everything I mentioned. And it's the fact that this whole, and I keep using this word, but the whole seemingly fairy tale love story that these two had going on, and then now what she's accused of doing, because at least you have to wonder, maybe is that what Victoria allegedly wanted people to think about their lives? So before we get into the social media posts, I just got to get a little bit more background about these two. So you have Aaron Goodwin. He's this longtime investigator, cameraman for the hit paranormal series Ghost Adventures. According to his bio on the Travel Channel, it says, referred to by many as a teddy bear or Zach's bait of choice, Aaron actually hates to be left alone in attics or just about anywhere. You can also expect to hear him say dude about 20 times per episode. Always armed with a camera, Aaron travels around the world with the team to record what they experience in each haunted location.
That's fair. Like, Aaron is the most likable character on that show.
He really is. And he always has been. Always.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a theory.
Okay.
I do have a theory. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I think that Victoria reached out to Grant Amato in a possible romantic way, because that fits his MO.
That fits why he did his crime.
She's attractive.
Right.
She's around his age. She's got money. Mm-hmm. And I think she figured, since he obviously was cold-hearted enough to take out his family, that he might be able to find a way to help her. And I think she used her powers of woman over him, and probably
powers of woman.
You know what I mean.
I know.
He's a pleb.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
He's a soy boy. You know, he doesn't look like he's ever ate a steak. I'm sure he's eaten a few steaks in jail, if you know what I mean.
Because next time I come for you, I'm going to want some cocktail. Fruit.
Take it.
But he, I think he would be very easy to sway with an attractive woman with money.
Absolutely.
So I really do think...
And she took advantage of that.
I think it's going to come out that at some point she had a relationship with him. And she's using that. Well, I mean, she never actually has to touch him.
I know. So weird.
Yeah.
Now, Victoria, who apparently describes herself on Instagram as an athlete and rare illness plus CPTSD warrior, has been open about her struggles with achalasia. This is a rare condition that affects swallowing.
Sounds
and
like a
in her
clothing
journey
brand.
with chronic illness, she did an interview
Took on
back
my new
in December
achalasia.
on the Motivational Talks with Ash podcast, and she spoke about her diagnosis, how it derailed her dreams of becoming a professional golfer. And she's also been an advocate for mental health and chronic illness awareness, sharing her story to inspire others. And back to you, Detective Barnes, in cases like this, where you have one person who seems blindsided by the other's actions, how often do you see that in your experience? Do people typically show signs of, being unaware that this comes out of nowhere?
Typically, there is one party that's quote unquote left in the dark. My heart goes out to Aaron, and I can't imagine being blindsided by something like this. Not only is he losing someone that he chose to be a partner with, but to realize that, she was actually plotting to have him killed. I can't imagine that. And I also think this is a great occasion for law enforcement that we are actually able to intervene before the act took place.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that people that are involved in these relationships, you just never know what pushes someone else over edge, and you never know what goes on behind closed doors. People can portray that life is great to everyone on the outside, and obviously she did a great job if her husband didn't realize there was big problems.
Yeah, it's true, because you really don't know what people are capable of or what's going on. And let me put this in a different perspective. So I want to do a deep dive now into the social media posts. We analyzed multiple posts, both on Aaron's account and Victoria's.
Before they get into social media, I also want to point out that everybody's life looks better on social media.
Of course.
So
everybody portrays that perfectness about their lives online.
Absolutely. Which is why I tend not to even post much. Mm-hmm. I like my business to be my business. It's just who I am. I'm a private person. But trying to use social media as kind of a basis of looking to see if something could be wrong, especially when you're somebody who's, at least semi-famous.
Yeah.
You're never going to
That's not
post.
great.
You're never going to post things that look bad, because you have a public image to uphold.
Right.
So I hate when they're like, oh, but they're social media. But of course, Aaron probably doesn't even
been in the public eye for forever, so why would they post anything other than perfect?
There's a pretty decent chance that Aaron might not even post on his own social media. It might be somebody else.
Yeah.
Because he is famous. Mm-hmm. He's not like an A-list celebrity or anything, but he's famous enough.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I don't like using the social media aspect at all, because they're just never going to post hate each other. I
hate this woman.
Yeah, exactly. So I just find it super strange that they're going to do that.
Right.
Account, and they paint this picture of a loving relationship. From what we can see, they've been together since at least 2018. The oldest post that we could find was from November of 2018. It reads, "I'm so thankful for her. She is there for me when I'm down and up and makes me laugh all day. She is so wonderful. I love every minute with her." The two even had, as I mentioned, their wedding at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland.
And she's like, I'm going to get
posted photos of the couple on that special day, writing, "It finally happened. We got married. After postponing many times due to COVID, we got our day. I couldn't be happier." 2023, Aaron took Victoria to a haunted house, documented that adventure with her, as seen here.
Got this, babe.
I don't like it. I might throw up.
It's a haunted house.
I don't want
She's
it.
definitely afraid of haunted houses, but at least it's not real ghosts. Well, there are real ghosts in here, actually.
No. Send help.
And then back in August of last year, Aaron posted in commemoration of their anniversary, writing, "2 years ago today, I got to marry my best friend. I'm so lucky to have you in my life."
They've only been married 2 years. Yeah. 2 years. That's not even enough to really know each other 100%.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
We have been together for I know we've not how long we've been married, but we've been together almost 13 years now. We still find out things about each other that we didn't know.
That was real? thought I dreamed that. Oh, God!
All right.
Oh, God!
It's just crazy to me that she, not him, obviously, he's still very much in love, that she's past that phase already into the let's get him killed phase.
Like, is that a phase, though?
Eventually. We'll find out in a few years.
You will find out.
Hun. And then on Valentine's Day this year, so that's February, about, 4 months after the alleged plot, and just weeks before Victoria's arrest, Victoria shared a photo of the two of them playing mini golf, captioning it, "Mini golf with my Valentine." And then this Lego set she built for Aaron, captioning it, "Finally finished my Valentine gift. I love you so much." And she also has posts commemorating their first date and anniversaries.
We're on an expedition to find dinosaurs.
And maybe get lost.
The Lost in Jurassic Park tour.
This is the east side of Oahu. You're about 40 minutes from North Shore here. But if
it's cool. You got to check it out. It's awesome.
So many cool things to see. Music videos filmed here,
Lost.
movies, TV shows.
If you love Lost, you're going to love this place. Plus, Lost is filmed on other islands, so we got a lot of work to do and go to those spots.
Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Hawaii.
Is it weird to you to see Aaron acting like a normal person?
No.
It is to me.
No. He's always seemed more like a normal guy than anybody else on the show.
Why can't we get rid of Zach and just let it be Aaron?
That would be fantastic.
What if we just made him in charge of that? Does anybody actually still like Zach? I mean,
let us know in the comments.
Yeah, comment below. Do you still actually... I'm not going to shame anybody for liking Ghost Adventures.
Absolutely.
I find it entertaining, don't get me wrong. But do you still like Zach? Like she said, comment below. We want to know.
U50, Jumanji. Sorry. Not all of us are a million feet tall.
Okay, detective, lot to make here. How often do investigators look at these social media posts? What are they looking at it for? And what do you think the significance of it could be in this kind of case?
Jesse, the significance of social media is that any person can be whoever they want to be on social media. And it could be the furthest person from reality. You have the ability to create images and to portray to the world and basically paint a picture. Use pictures and posts to kind of give people insight into what you want them to see. And it sounds like she was doing that. If the allegations are true, then what she appeared to be doing was painting a picture of this perfect relationship and staying in character, to give herself an alibi.
That could be a very good prosecution argument. The defense's argument would be, she didn't do this. She loves her husband. Look at these posts. Look at this. How can someone fake this? How can someone orchestrate a plot to kill and then be, lovey-dovey? You'd have to be a sociopath to be able to do this. And I think I wonder if that would be a point of contention or a point of disagreement moving forward, Detective.
It sounds like it would. I think that there's a very key point as well in this that I think the defense would have to overcome, and that's the fact that the plot and the plan was for this to take place while he was out of town.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it gives her further distance away from the crime. When it happens in your own backyard, the spouse is the first person police look at. But when you're hundreds of miles away from your residence, it kind of gives the wife a little room and gives her an alibi that, I was here at my house, minding my business in my daily routine, and I'm a victim of this crime.
It's a really, really good point. Look, I'll tell you this, as of now, Victoria remains in custody, but Aaron Goodwin's future remains uncertain. I will tell you, though, one thing is clear. This paranormal investigator who spent years confronting ghosts and spirits, he now faces a chilling reality far closer to home. Detective Eric Barnes.
I'm going to tell you what, I never thought that I would see the day where something this insane happening to Aaron Goodwin, of all people.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
It just seems so strange.
I don't know.
Well, all right, so let's do this. All right, since we're going to continue this.
Okay.
We are going to, like I said, this will be also next week's episode.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, that's fine. We'll be back with the normal stuff eventually. What do you think will happen? What do you foresee happening with all of this?
What I hope or what I foresee?
Well, I mean, what do you foresee? What do you think will go down? As the only two of us who have any run-ins with the law.
Nah, that sounds ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
What? You were young.
I was definitely young.
This was like 30, 40 years ago.
Ew.
So you're the most beautiful 57-year-old I've ever seen.
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
In my whole life. She's younger than me. It's fine. But no, really, what do you foresee happening with all this? Because I have what I think will happen as well.
I think.
Do you think she's guilty?
100%.
Okay.
100%. What I hope happens is they both get charged. Whoever was involved, if it was someone, also has charges brought against them. But I think it's going to be difficult to prove. I think it's going to be a battle to get there.
Okay.
What about you?
I think the complete opposite.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very easy to prove. I think the fact that they already have a paper trail through the text messaging.
Let him cook!
That she did try indeed to set this up and already has, the agreements of monetization, they're the payment, down payment, the fact that he was out of town when she said he was going to be, the fact that she reached out to a known killer. I think all that's going to be very easy. But what my problem is that because she wasn't able to follow through, I think her sentence is going to end up being pretty light. I think she'll only see a couple years of jail out of this, unfortunately.
I think that would be dumb.
That's what I think will happen.
Because let her go and she tries
I don't
again?
think they'll let her
what?
go. I just think she'll end up doing maybe 5 years.
No, I meant after any time served.
Well, I
she
mean,
gets
but again, but that's the legal system. So if she serves her time, she serves her time. That's what everybody goes through. Because she wasn't able to see it all the way through, I don't think she's going to get much time. And when it comes to Gran Amato, I think he will get charged with something, but does it matter? He's not getting out anyway. He doesn't care.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he was sent away on 3 life sentences. He was never coming out of jail. So what does he care?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to him? Nobody knows and nobody really cares because it doesn't make a difference.
He doesn't have anybody around anymore because he stalled to that.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got his Eastern European webcam girl.
Yeah, okay.
But I unfortunately don't think enough will happen to her
absolutely not
to counter what she did. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're both wrong. Maybe it'll be easy and she'll go away to jail forever. But I just don't see it. But either way, Aaron has no idea who we are, but I would like to say, man, my heart goes out to you. I couldn't imagine if this lovely lady tried to have me murdered. First off, it's got to be heart-wrenching to think that the person you spend every day with and love the most would do something like that to you. And on the complete opposite side, it's just got to be wild to think that somebody was willing to put a hit out on your life.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
That's so crazy. I wouldn't even know how to handle that.
No.
I would not even know how to go about
There's no real way to do
that.
There's no real way to handle that.
No.
That's not something you're ever prepared for.
No. So whatever you feel like you need to do, Aaron,
you do
it.
You do it. If that means going out with Zach late night and being a douche, you do that.
Dude, the second I said, let me see your head, it felt like I swallowed 10 feathers and they got stuck in my throat.
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my mashed potatoes.
That's fine.
Be douche.
Go douche it up. But this is where we're going to end this one, I believe. Follow us on all the social medias. One day I will start to post on them again, I promise. But
all the things.
All the things. And again, I apologize if this isn't really your cup of tea, but I do want to see the story through. So we are going to cover this.
Yeah, and we like to do different things every once in a
at
while,
least this week and next week, because I would like to see some more about this. But, just hang in there. Eventually we'll be back to normal.
We will.
And thank you to everybody who held on while we took a little break for... I couldn't say it on the show. I'm sorry. Normally I'm like, oh, we're going to take a break, but I couldn't say it on here and be like, Megan's sister's coming, and then surprise her with it. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Social media. If you have we have listener stories, and I totally forgot. Ben,
shut up.
I'm just going to out myself, Ben. I just totally forgot. However, I will not forget on next week's. If I remember, I will try to read them both. I believe he sent 2. If there's 2, I will read 2.
Oh my God.
So Ben, I apologize, but Ben, our homeboy Ben Ford from our home state, did reach out again with a story. I'm very excited, but we just kind of last minuted everything because your family literally just left.
They just left.
So I apologize, but I do have them. I will read them, I swear. Anyways, if you have a listener story or a suggestion, or you just want to reach out and say hi, forthebooze12@gmail.com.
That's right.
And is there anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it? All right.
No.
What?
We do another podcast.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, on
called
Patreon.
Behind the Booze.
Yeah, on Patreon.
Yeah.
It's,
so if you want to come join us over on Patreon, they get the special treatment.
Yeah, it's patreon.com/forthebooze_podcast.
That's right.
It's so much to remember. And shout out, obviously, to all of our Patreons. Your names will scroll at the end, like the Krull at the end of a Star Wars, or the beginning of a Star Wars movie, sorry. I'm a little out of it, man. We've been going and going and going. I'm looking forward to just going to play video games.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, if any of you listening play DayZ, hit me up. I'm on Xbox. I'm always looking for people to play with. Is that weird?
No.
Yeah, just come play with me. I need friends.
Play with me.
All right, go ahead and take us out of here.
Well, thank you, everybody, so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye. Maybe think of somebody better than a soft as butter little bitch boy than Grant Amato to do your bidding.